Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and we are going to play a game. Another game for Spooktober, which we start really early. This time from Bowspam. And the game is called the Unmaking Gospel. First game from this dev we are about to play. There is one more, but that one is like a prototype, so hopefully in the future. But this one seems to be really interesting. First, let's get into the developer's description of the game, and then we'll jump into it. You are Leo Bellini, a young archivist entrusted with the silent, sacred duty of preserving history. Your world is one of ink, parchment, and peace. But when you uncover a hidden chamber and the book bound in what looks like serpent skin, your reality begins to fray at the seams. This is the Unmaking Gospel, a blasphemous text that claims our world was crafted not by God, but by a blind, ignorant impostor. I'd be willing to believe in that. It is your task to translate its esoteric passages, but it is no mere academic exercise. Each choice you make, each interpretation of the maddening text directly reshapes your sanity and the very fabric of the world around you. The stains on the walls begin to watch you. The shadows whisper secrets. The man you trust becomes a figure of dread. Are you uncovering a divine truth, or are you simply the vessel for a new, incomprehensible form of madness? I mean, all of that could be an option, I guess. Let us begin. The Vatican Apostolic Archives. Some call it the Secret Archives. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense, absolutely. A place where centuries of knowledge lie settled, steeped in the tranquil air and the scent of dry ink. My world, my own private haven. Or heaven, technically, that was heaven. There is nothing here but paper, parchment, and the human wisdom etched upon them. Neither politics nor deceit can reach this place. Sure. Wrote only by eloquent silence. Right, today's task is organizing the Coptic manuscripts from before the 12th century in the third archive. Cardinal Christopher warned me to be especially careful with the south wall, as the documents there are severely damaged. The south wall is where the light is most scarce. Even the beams from the fixed lamps seem to diffuse, as if swallowed by the darkness. Leo inspected the condition of each papyrus scroll one by one as they sat on the immense shelves. A breeze in the best part of the archives. A cold, dry current of air caressed his neck. It was impossible. The airflow in these archives was supposed to be perfectly controlled to preserve documents in pristine condition. Am I imagining it? No. Putting down the scroll, Leo walked slowly along the wall, searching for the source of the draft. And then, at a certain point, he was sure of it. There was a tiny gap between the massive stone bookshelf and the wall. According to the blueprints, this wall and the bookshelf should be perfectly integrated. A gap like this... He placed a hand on the edge of the shelf. The stone was cool to touch. It didn't budge when he put his full weight on it. But he was an archivist. He was used to handling books. He noticed that the spine of one of the thick, leather-bound manuscripts on the shelf was just slightly more worn than the others. It can't be. With a feeling akin to prayer, he placed his fingers on the manuscript and slowly pulled it out. A low toot echoed. The stone tiles beneath his feet sunk by a few millimeters, and then the massive bookshelf before him began to slide inward with an impossible smoothness. What appeared was an entrance about the height of a man, shrouded in absolute darkness. The air that flowed from it was neither musty nor dusty. It smelled of nothing, as if it had been a vacuum. Okay, I should report this to the Cardinal! Reason told him so. This was a breach of regulations. It was too dangerous! But his entire being was trembling with academic excitement. Unknown knowledge forgotten by history lay within. Leo lit his portable lamp and slinging himself stepped into the darkness. It was a space that should be called a niche rather than a room. The four walls are covered in a smooth obsidian-like stone, without a single speck of dust. And in the center, upon a simple stone pedestal, sat a single book. Leo gasped. The binding of the book was unlike any of the tens of thousands of manuscripts he had ever seen. Not leather, it was a black cover with a dull luster, as if made from tanned serpent scales. In the center, a hieroglyph in an unknown language was embossed in silver. What is this? This script is not Greek, Coptic, or Aramaic, and yet, why can I feel its meaning? As if drawn by an unseen force, he approached the pedestal and reached for the book. The moment his fingertips touched the serpent skin cover, a flood of images poured in his mind. Gears with countless eyes, blazing wings, a great lion tearing the heavens asunder, geometric patterns that defied comprehension. Leo instinctively recoiled. His heart was pounding like an alarm bell. Sorry. This is dangerous. This is not knowledge that humans are meant to touch. His instincts, his very soul were screaming at him. But I thought it was beautiful. Fear and a fierce intellectual curiosity that surpassed it. A sacred blasphemy, a sweet corruption. With trembling hands, slowly but surely, he picked up the serpent skin manuscript. It was heavy, a strange mass, as if he were lifting an entire world. The Gospel of the Archons. Oh, Archons? Nice. Why do I know the name of this book? I must not tell anyone about this. And so the everyday life of a young archivist came to an end. What? From that moment on, his reality began to quietly and inexorably unravel. Back in his room, Leo faced the serpent skin manuscript, guided only by the light of his lamp. These characters, it's like a torrent of meaning is flowing directly into my head. The first page. The music, right? I like it. I like this background music. Below a diagram of light radiating from the center of a circle, a single phrase was written. The Lightbringer. How should I interpret this? Lightbringer. Interpreted as an angel, Angelus. Interpreted as the morning star, Lucifer. As wisdom, Sophia. Lightbringer. Am I supposed to know who's Sophia? Lightbringer. I mean, I wouldn't say Lightbringer, it's the Lucifer. On the other hand, the morning star, so basically sun. Let's go wisdom. You know what? Let's go wisdom, Sophia. No, it's not an angel nor a devil. It's a more fundamental concept. This is wisdom itself, bring the light of truth to a false world. The light of Gnosis. The moment Leo was convinced he had grasped the truth, the world screamed. His vision warped and twisted colors bled into each other. The lamp's light turned black and the darkness in the corner of the room pulsed like a living thing. Oof. My vision. Oof. Oh, the world is becoming correct? Is this its true form? He trembled, not with fear, but with elation. He had tasted the forbidden fruit. A few seconds later, his vision returned to normal. But Leo already knew. The world he once knew was gone forever. Image BG library distorted, not found. Okay, I'm gonna have a look now. Maybe there is a problem with just the name. No, wrong folder. This one. Images. BG library. Oh yeah, I don't see picture with that name. Anyway, there is no going back. I shouldn't go back. This is the real form of things. I need to know more. Leo closed the manuscript, still unaware of the strangely sweet scent that filled the room, a scent that was not of ink. The next morning, Leo had barely slept.
Leo, you look a bit pale yesterday. Are you feeling better now?
Oh, Cardinal, I'm sorry to have worried you.
I see. The truth is sometimes too grand for our vessels.
He knows.
By the way, I have a task for you. I want you to re-examine the texts of the Valentinians who were deemed heretics.
Understood. That night, Leo opened the manuscript to the next page. It depicted a person confronting their own shadow. According to the text, the shadow is the contrapositive of the true self and the key to the prison. What does this shadow refer to? Okay. Demon that tempts humans. Repressed inner self. The flesh itself which binds the soul. Shadow is... Let's go with the flesh. Neither is correct. The shadow is not a demon, nor the inner self. It is something more direct, more blasphemous. If the soul is light, then the shadow is the flesh that blocks that light. This physical body is the prison that confines the soul. Interpretation that touched the core of Gnosticism. The moment he arrived at the answer, Leo felt a profound sense of alienation from his own body. The hands before his eyes looked like those of some unfamiliar creature. What is this? Is this my hand? He tried wiggling his fingers. They obeyed his will, but the texture of the skin, the creak of the bones, the wave of the flesh, it all felt terribly foreign. His body isn't me. It's just heavy, damp clothing that I happen to be wearing. He touched his own cheek. The sensation was as if he were touching someone else's flesh. Then where am I? His fear was sublimated into an existential threat. The shaking of his very being. Overnight, Leo's world had warped even more deeply. That's right, I had to get out of this prison! The next day, Leo's steps were as heavy as lead. The archives were no longer a place of solace. The paradise of knowledge had become a distorted mirror, reflecting his old mental state. Is the Cardinal watching me, or is this all just my delusion? As he walked between the shelves, a clear, dignified female voice suddenly broke the silence. Hello.
You're a Leo Bellini!
Yes, I am. May I ask who you are? This area is restricted to authorized personnel only.
Sophia Visconti. Just a humble historian.
The woman who called herself Sophia looked directly into Leo's eyes. Her gaze seemed to pierce through to the very depths of his soul.
Historian, yes. For now, I'm researching the history of this prison.
Prison?
Don't tell me she knows about the book.
I can tell just by looking at your face. You've touched the truth, haven't you? You realize just how heavy the shadow called the body truly is.
How did you know that?
Her words were the very same crazed conclusion Leo had reached just last night. Was the one before him human, or was she a phantom born from this mad reality?
There is no need to hide it. That book cannot be found by chosen few, and those who read it gain a unique scent. Right now you smell of old ink and... yes, the scent of ozone after a lightning strike.
His silence was an admission.
I'm investigating that book. I had no intention of harming you. I understand if you can trust me, so I want you to choose.
Show a willingness to cooperate or feign ignorance. Cooperate, why not?
What do you know? What in God's name is that book?
A wise decision? It's the Gospel of the Archons. A forbidden record stating that this world was created by a false god. And Cardinal Christopher, he's a watcher who serves that false god. Be careful!
The Cardinal is a watcher! Sophia whispered in a voice only Leo could hear. By trusting her, the story delves deeper into the forbidden truth. Leo Bellini's struggle was no longer his alone.
The appearance of a potential ally. The exposure of a watcher. His reality is forced to warp and distort even further. Sophia had appeared like a storm, and then she was gone! What remained was the word watcher and the decisive mistrust of the Cardinal Christopher. As if fleeing, Leo returned to his room and, with trembling hands, once again opened the serpent skin manuscript. Sophia, the Cardinal, they both spoke of the Demiurge, the creator of this world. As if in answer to his question, the page he opened to depicted a god, both majestic and blasphemous. It sat upon a throne, its body coiled like a serpent, and its head was that of a roaring lion. So this is it. The text reads, "The creator of all, and the first archon, he proclaimed himself the one true God, and his ignorance created the prison of matter. An ignorant God, how am I to understand the nature of this blasphemous entity? How do you interpret the nature of this lion-faced serpent, the Demiurge? God of the Old Testament, Yahweh. Imperfect creator, Demiurge. Our own reason, Logos." I don't know. Let's go Logos, why not? Not an external god, not Yahweh, not the Demiurge. That lion-faced serpent is inside us all. It's reason itself, that which that which separates, defines, and tries to understand things. My reason is what perceives the world as matter and defines it as a prison. The ultimate self-reference, internalizing even God, the most dangerous interpretation. If so, can I escape this prison by transcending reason?
That's right, Leo.
That voice, where did it come from?
From within you, or perhaps from without. Can you even tell the difference anymore?
Who's there?
We are wisdom. We are what lies beyond the reason you are trying to cast away.
Leo screamed as he felt his own thoughts being hijacked. The boundary between self and other was melting away. His fear became a fear of disintegration, the primal terror of ceasing to be himself. Even after closing the manuscript, Leo's trembling would not stop. He had defined the nature of this world's creator, and that curse was now deeply engraved upon his soul. And the next day in the Archives, he will finally confront the agent of the god he has defined. The pure spirit of inquiry that once filled Leo's heart was gone. In its place was a sense of urgency, like a candle about to turn out, and a single desperate yearning. If this world is a prison, and its creator a false god, then there is only one answer. How do I get out of here? As if in answer to his prayer, the last few pages of the manuscript fluttered on their own. And they stopped on a page depicted a complex celestial map, the soul's journey. A single point of light, the soul, passes through numerous concentric circles, the domains of the archons, to reach a great light at the center, the pleroma. At the boundary of each circle, a fearsome gatekeeper was drawn. The soul's escape route, and the text described the key to pass through the gates. This is it! This is the answer I've been searching for! What is the key for the soul to escape its prison? Prayer and faith, knowledge and words, rejection and annihilation. I'm gonna say knowledge and words. Praying to a god is the same as begging a prison warden for mercy. Come on, it's meaningless. What I need to break through the gates is not faith, it's knowledge! The true names of the gatekeepers, the secrets of their authority, the words logos that can see through them are the key that will open the gates. All the gates. When Leo concluded the knowledge itself was power, his mind awakened to a new stage. The wood grain on the wall, the ink stains, the raindrops on the window, all of it began to look like symbols and patterns with meaning. I can see it! I can see the world's source code! A single word surfaced in his mind. The true name of the first gatekeeper.
Yaldabaoth!
This is it? With this knowledge I can... He was no longer a prisoner. He had transformed to a hacker who had discovered the vulnerabilities of this world system. This was the key that Leo Bellini had chosen. Was it hope, hubris, or despair? Regardless, he would no longer turn back. He had no choice but to follow the path he had discovered for himself. And the next day, with the final answer in hand, he would confront the warden of this world in the archives. The next day, the moment Leo stepped into the archives, he knew. His everyday life was over. The air was as heavy as lead and sounds were distorted. The shadows of the bookshelves stretched at impossible angles.
So you've come, Leo Bellini. Or perhaps I should no longer call you that.
Cardinal? No. What should I call you?
I am a watcher, the guardian of this order. My duty is to correct bugs like you.
With the cardinal's words, the archive screamed. The bookshelves twisted and tens of thousands of books began to float in the air as if in zero gravity. And the figure of Cardinal Christopher began to shimmer like a heat haze.
The children of men should not possess knowledge beyond their station. It is a virus that disrupts the harmony of the world. The false gospel he obtained was originally a safety device meant to make humans feel comfortable in the mental prison they created for themselves. But you unlocked the door, not that you dreamed of what lay outside the prison.
So this is your true form.
We are the Archons, the administrators of the physical laws and causality established by the false god Demiurge. Now choose, Leo Bellini, surrender your contaminated knowledge and have your memories wiped to return to normal. Or have your very existence erased from this world.
A desperate choice, but Leo's heart was strangely calm. He was no longer a mere archivist. He was the one who had found the key with his own hands. This is my final choice. Okay, I don't have to save here. Call the gatekeeper's name. Your name is Yaldabaoth. Your rule ends here. A mere gatekeeper like you cannot have bind my soul. I know who you are. I know from where you came. Your name is Yaldabaoth. I have seen through the secret of your authority the word Logos.
Where did you learn that name?
The forbidden knowledge shook the Archon's existence to its core. The Cardinal's form flickered violently, and it seemed his rule was about to end. That was the moment. All sound stopped. The Archon's flickering ceased. The distorted space became unnaturally still, as if someone had forcibly stopped the film during playback.
What is this? The interference is outside my jurisdiction.
Look to the sky way up on high there in the night stars on the right beyond the
Where did the music and singing sound came from? Come on.
My! Things seem to be getting quite lively.
Sophia! That form! What stood there was something in the shape of Sophia. Its outline constantly wavered, merging and separating with the collapsing library in the background. She was the bug in this world itself.
What are you? You are not the light of the pleroma, nor one of our kind.
I am an observer and the editor of this little play. Oh, it was so amusing. I thought back born inside a prison, reads the prison's blueprints, and rebels against the warden. The best entertainment.
Entertainment? My suffering was nothing more than a game to you?
Of course. You and that pathetic excuse for a god over there are all equally a story to me. But you know, Leo, your choice was truly magnificent. You introduced the concept of the outside to the prison. You invited me in.
Sophia snapped her fingers, and the Archon Cardinal Christopher's body crumbled to dust as silently as old paper. No resistance, no scream was permitted. The Cardinal was erased?
Aren't you glad the warden is gone? But it's a shame. The key you found has an open door to this prison. It all makes the walls of the prison more fragile.
Sophia looked out over the collapsing world with an ecstatic expression.
Let's erase all of this ugly graffiti called order, but the false got created and return it to a beautiful, clean, colorless.
Stop! If you do that the truth I sought, my struggle, what was the meaning of it all?
Meaning? Of course it had meaning. You gave me the final chapter of the story that this is this world. You are the best protagonist. Thank you, Leo Bellini. As a reward, I'll make you the very first nothing.
Those were the last words that Leo Bellini ever heard. Light, darkness, good, evil, the false god, the true god, all of it dissolved, losing its meaning equally. Only a blasphemous laugh, returning all to nothing, echoed in the place where a world once was. The end. Well, I mean, Leo was called the best protagonist, so I assume this was the best ending in a way. This was my interpretation, or should I say, sort of blind guesses. I could say it was blind guesses, to be honest. And that's me completing, in a way, the Unmaking of Gospel. I assume there are more endings to it. I don't know exactly how many for. Sorry. I think there might be 3 endings. You just need to follow once supposedly the like angelic way or a devilish way, and you will get to that. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Gentlemen and ladies. Actually, maybe I'll do the other one like tomorrow. I'll consider that. We'll see. Maybe, because I can't really do it now, maybe I will sit to it once again and we'll see what we can get if we follow the other options. Or maybe I'll just stick with what we've had, and right now this will be basically the end of the video. If not, if I will actually decide to sit and... No, you know what? No, I'll stick it as... This is the video. Yes. We've gotten to the path that I think was in a way correct. That was my interpretation basically. Even though there was quite a lot of guessing in the making of that interpretation. If you would interpret it differently, link to the game is in the description. The game is free. Go and interpret it yourself. And yeah, if you're interested, you can also check out the other game from Bowspam, the one that is a prototype. I will be observing, and if anything, I'll jump into it when it's well, released as not as prototype. Yeah, that's right. Even though the file is supposedly version 1.0, so it's like it's finished, but no, wait, this is a work in progress build. Okay. That's all I need to know. Alright, overall, pretty good story, to be quite honest. Pretty good story. Another submission for Spooktuber annual visual novel jam, which, well, is going to be happening soon. I mean, Spooktuber is right around the corner. Right around the corner, yeah. So we might be getting more of those games. Because as you may or may not know, I do browse through basically each day. And if I find something that graphically immediately catches my attention, I open it in the new window. Or should I say, in a new card in a browser. And then I decide, do I want to download this? Do I want to play this? And that's how the process goes.
That's how the process goes.
Well, this looks interesting, for example, but it's Chinese or Japanese only, it seems like. But yeah, those jumps bring a lot of games, good games as well. So, looking forward to seeing what we will get for Spooktober this year once again. With all of that being said, and me rambling like crazy, let's end the video. Let's end the video. I have another game ready for tomorrow already. I actually have 2 games from each in my chamber ready. Basically, I had 4 prepared already for recording, like from sort of freshest releases. I have 2 of the same franchise on the desktop. We'll see if I jump into that or not. Maybe not yet. And I have about 30 again on the hard drive. And it's all itch.io, but maybe I'll jump to Steam. Maybe I'll jump to Steam for a moment as well. Instead of playing something that was released in the past. I had it saved in bookmarks for a while, as in progress, and so on. Now it's not in progress but finished, so I downloaded and so on. Which is also funny that I downloaded all of that before, well, in a way I broke my PC, right? The not funny part is, I sorted through everything in progress, right? And I lost it all. That's right. I lost all the bookmarks, so that's kinda a problem. And I don't know, do I try to go through each on my own, or what? Because basically right now, from around 1,000, like, bookmarks, right now I stand at 1 bookmark of games to buy and 18 that are in development. Vast difference. Vast difference. I think I had like 300 games to buy and around 1,000 that were in development. Yeah. Anyway, I'm yapping too much. The Unmaking Gospel completed. Great game. Hopefully the one the developer works on and that ends up being finished and will also be a good experience. Again, link to the game in the description. Go check out the other interpretations on your own. I'll obviously do it on my own as well, probably while rendering this video. And of course, I'll ask you to consider liking the video if you enjoyed it. Always super appreciated if you do that. If you're new around, consider subscribing. That is even more appreciated. And, well, I'll continue playing games, obviously. More games and more games, because the releases never stop, in a way, you could say. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. For now, I wish you all a fantastic day. And hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow too. Bye-bye.